All right, guys, what's up? It's Andrew C. Bailey, 5-star love and relationship tutor and master human metamorphosis coach, helping people planet Earth unlock their genius so that they can live a happy, fulfilled life where they're achieving their dreams. And one of those dreams could be a soulmate. Okay, so tonight, it's a special night. It's the last night of all my birthday specials. I'm 35 now, celebrating, giving away, not giving away, but offering. They're pretty much giveaways because they're massively valuable. Opportunities to work with me at a lower investment than usual. Usually I charge $10,000 to work with me over 6 months. That's the minimum. Tonight I want to talk about taking 100% responsibility for your experience here and how that sets you free on planet Earth and in your life. Now I've got 4 things I'm going to go over with you on this mini masterclass. We're going to talk about number 1 when it comes to taking 100% responsibility and setting yourself free forever. Number 1, we're going to talk about power versus powerlessness. 2, we're going to talk about being a victim versus a victor. 3, we're going to talk about blame. And 4, I'm going to offer you some help if you're the type of person that wants to go to the next level fast and doesn't want to settle and doesn't want to waste any more time on planet Earth wasting time. Okay, here's the deal. Taking responsibility, when I'm working with clients, especially like a new client, I'm looking for what area this person is not taking responsibility in their life fully. They can think that they're taking responsibility for the way that their life has come out. They can say that, but deep down, have we really taken responsibility, or are we blaming things outside of ourselves like people, family, events, environment that you're surrounded in? We got to take a look at that. So let's talk about when you are not taking responsibility for your life. When you're not saying, you know what, I'm responsible for my entire life. I am the creator of my own reality, and everything in my life is happening for me, and I'm creating it. And if I don't like it, I can change it. I can change up the recipe and get something more pleasing, something better. Okay? So when somebody is not taking responsibility, one of the signs that you can see, and you got to ask yourself, do I feel super powerless to change my circumstances in my life? Or do I feel empowered on a daily basis and I'm actually going after my dreams without any resistance and I'm feeling good every day? By the way, guys, I'm in my van. It's called Lucky. I'm traveling around the U.S. I'm currently in Las Vegas, and I'm on a pilgrimage with the lovely Jacqueline Bernson here. That's the location I'm in right now. So we're talking about when you don't take responsibility in your life, guess what? You don't feel powerful. You feel powerlessness to do anything. And I'm telling you, once you take a responsibility, the biggest benefit is now you can step into your power and you can really have the opportunity to totally transform the quality of your life and the results that you're getting, including feeling good inside. I mean, don't you want to feel more happy? Wouldn't you like to not feel stress on a daily basis? Wouldn't you like not to have to constantly be in your head and the monkey mind's going da 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 da? Or you've got a big old snake. Feels like you got a snake on the horizon that's venomous, and a disaster is going to come and they're going to strike and they're going to bite down on your skin and inject some venom inside of you. So you're constantly in emergency mode, in fight or flight, and you're actually living in survival your whole life because you're imagining bad things happening, and it's like you have that venomous snake about to pounce on you, or like a lion. So you're literally stressed out all the time because you're in emergency mode. So that doesn't feel very powerful, does it? It does not, and you don't want to live like that. Okay, so what is it going to take for you to step into your power? It's going to take you being straight with yourself and saying and looking in the mirror and taking time to slow down, turn off the Netflix, turn off all the entertainment, sit down quietly and say, what areas in my life am I not taking responsibility in that matter to me? What areas in your life are you wanting to make better, but you're actually not taking responsibility? So if your body is out of shape and you know it needs to be better so you can experience more health, more vitality, more energy to burn, then what you got to do is say, all right, my body is the way it is. Okay, we're not going to feel bad about what is. Okay, we're not going to be in resistance to what is. But what we are going to do is say, okay, my body is in this shape, and this is what it is, and then we're going to look at what got us there. What recipe have we been cooking to get this body that we're in? Okay, whether that's overweight or undernourished or whatever it is. And we have to take a hard look at it and then say, okay, I've cooked this recipe. Nobody else has cooked it. And I can continue cooking this recipe to continue getting the same result in my body, looks and internal health. Or I can turn the ship around and I can sail in a different direction and cook a new recipe. Get something a little more tasty, something a little more appealing to whatever result you're looking for with your body. That's just an example. So taking a look using the powerful tool of auditing or introspection can really do wonders for you. And people think it's not important to actually like sit down, or they actually just don't want to do it. They'd rather consume entertainment. Don't be like that. Do not follow the masses. Do not follow the masses. If everybody else is doing it, go the opposite way. That's usually a good thing to do. If everybody else is doing something, don't get on the same bandwagon, because it's usually it's not serving you or the greater good. So, what areas are you not taking responsibility for in your life? I had to do many times in my life when I was a failure with women in relationships. I had to say, there was a point where I was blaming my past spouses and, like saying like all the good ones are taken and, like I'm not good with women or whatever it was. I had to, and, like blaming women for being mean or something like that, not trusting women, whatnot. I had to take a look and say, you know what? I have to take responsibility for the way I feel. They're not creating my experience, nor did they ever. And if I created a bad relationship, then there was something I was doing or not doing. There was a recipe that I was cooking in that relationship that made it the same way it was, or made it the way it was. Crappy, unloving, tension-filled, drama, yelling, screaming. It's like a Days of Our Life episode every single day. There's some love, there's some scenes that have love, and then there's fucking drama. I've been there. You probably have too. We don't want to cook that recipe, but we got to take responsibility for if we're cooking a recipe that tastes like shit, if we're taking a recipe and it really doesn't taste appealing, we got to throw it out, get the garbage can, throw it out, and cook something different. What areas are you not taking responsibility in? Maybe it could be your financial life. Maybe it could be your relationships. Maybe it could be your body, like we talked about. Maybe it could be it could be anything that you can imagine. But what areas are you not taking responsibility, and why are you not taking responsibility? And who am I blaming? That's the first thing we're talking about on this, guys. For you that are seeing the replay or are on live, we're talking about taking 100% responsibility, and that helps set us free. Now, we talked about power, stepping into your power, and it requires what, guys? What does it require? You doing an introspection, an audit, and saying, what areas am I not taking responsibility in that matter to me? Second thing we're going to talk about tonight, number 2, is, are you being a victim or a victor? When I take on a new client, I'm not only looking for the place that they're not taking responsibility, but what areas are they playing the role of the victim, the character of the victim. If life was a movie, they would be playing the victim. Like you can be responsible in like money, but in your relationship or like your career, you're like blaming your boss. He's mean to me. He's a bastard. He's not paying me enough. He's not this. He's not giving me good hours and whatnot. Listen to the language of that. That's the language of a victim. Versus what we're going to talk about now is becoming a victor of your life. Saying, you know what? How can I think differently about this career situation? How can I think, maybe I'm thinking some nasty thoughts about my boss that aren't fair. Maybe I'm thinking about my job in a way that's dull, like dry bread. Maybe I need to reframe it and think of it something. There was a story I heard, I think Tony Robbins talked about it, where there was this girl in the audience at a big seminar, and she said, like, she was a stockbroker, and she just hated it. And so he reframed it and said, why don't you be a treasure hunter? And so when you get on the phone, you're hunting for buried treasure. And so she got excited of reframing the way she thought about that job. So sometimes the solution is not just to leave, it's to change the way that you're in your actual job or career business. Okay? So, are you being a victim in any area of your life? And it's usually the places you're not taking responsibility. They're tied together. You're not being a victim anymore if you're going to listen to me every night. Because I don't work with victims. I don't talk to victims. Once you tell me a victim story, it's my full intention to get it to die, to be on its last breath. And by the time I'm done with you, any victim story has taken its last breath so that you can be a victor in your life, so that you can finally get what you want, so that you can finally feel happy and at peace and blissful every day, regardless of circumstances in your life, regardless of what's going on. You can be immune to anything that happens. Immune. How would you like to be immune to anything that happens around you? Somebody yells at you, you're like, oh, okay, cool. They're projecting something, a belief system that they have. I really have compassion for them. Rather than they yell at you and then you yell back, or they yell at you and then you feel bad about it. You feel guilty. You feel like you did something wrong and you carry around that weight forever. That's no fun. I've done that before. Okay, but becoming immune. And you do that by taking responsibility and becoming a victor in your life. Once you take responsibility for everything in your life, by the way, you instantly become a victor. Because now you're in your power. Now whatever happens, you're creating it. And it's such a great, empowering place. Being a victim and blaming everything else, which is number 3 we're going to talk about. Number 3 right here is talking about blame. Blame goes along with playing the victim. Because when you're a victim, you're doing what? You're blaming. You're blaming something outside of yourself for the way that you feel. When you're blaming, you're looking at something in your external environment. Could be a person, could be a certain situation, could even be a pet, and you're blaming them for how you feel. And it needs to stop. It needs to stop because you want more in your life. And you deserve more in your life. But you got to stop blaming and take accountability for everything in your life. That doesn't mean things that are going on are not like your preferred reality. But if something happens to you, it's like, you know what? I'm going to take responsibility for this. Some way I brought this into my life. And right now it's not the direction that I want to go. And I'm going to go in a different direction. It's very important. Very, very important for you to not blame anymore. When I dropped blame, my life went up. When I dropped blame, I was on like the first floor of a beautiful skyscraper in New York City. And I was just sitting down there on level 1, just chilling forever because I was blaming. And once I let go of blame, I went up to the top. And then I experienced a lot more fun, a lot more excitement. And you got to release blame. You got to figure out how to do it. One of the antidotes to that, the biggest antidote that puts a bullet in the head of blame, is really taking responsibility for your life. And you got to take a good hard look at yourself, and I do too every time. I'm always auditing, like I tell you guys, every single day. At the end of the day, I'm auditing how well did this day go? What went well today? And also what didn't go well? What could I improve? What could I tweak? How can I make it better? And then you sitting there doing that audit, you'll be blown away. It seems like it wouldn't help because it's so simple. But what happens when you try something new, it feels new, and then you realize a couple times more as you develop it into a habit how powerful that habit is. So it's the habit of doing a daily audit on yourself and being straight with yourself. Because, I mean, did you come here to planet Earth to have fun, or did you come to suffer? I didn't come to suffer, and I didn't come to not achieve anything that meant something to me. And I know you didn't too. So, what areas do you need to take responsibility? What areas are you playing the character of the victim, and what areas are you blaming in? And really thinking about it and being honest with yourself for the first time, maybe for the first time in your life. And there's nothing wrong with that. When you start looking at yourself, and it can be scary for some, because you think it's like you're walking through the desert and you think there's a snake in front of you, but it's not a snake, it's a rope. And you realize, oh, what I thought was scary and dangerous, it was not anything. In fact, it was freeing. Once you take responsibility and you stop blaming, and you become the victor. And once you become the victor, now you can steer your tugboat in the way you don't want to be in a tugboat. You get in a yacht. You get in a yacht and you go where you want to go, okay, towards the direction you want to go. This is good stuff, guys. Thank you so much for logging on. We're talking about taking 100% responsibility to set yourself free. What area are you not taking responsibility? It's really an important thing to think about, because you got to think, what do I really want in this life? Why do I want it? And then we got to figure out how to get it. But if we're trying to do that from the vantage point, from the perspective of a victim, how successful are we going to be? Well, for example, let's say you want to increase your income, but you're still you're unaware, you're unconscious that you're telling a victim story. Hey, Jacqueline, can you get me some water, please, babe? That you're playing the story, you're playing over and over again like a broken record, the story of a victim. And you've got to really look at it. You have to look at it. Because once you identify that you want more money, but you're also blaming the government for your lack of money, you're blaming your parents for giving you a bunch of poverty mindsets, you're blaming your environment for looking poor, whatever it is, guys. The story could be endless in different ways. But is it in alignment with where you want to go, the direction, or is it in opposition, in contradiction to that direction? You got to look at it. What would your life be like if you took control today and became powerful by taking responsibility for yourself? What would it be like? I mean, just think about it. What would it be like in 3 days? What would it be like in 5 days? What would it be like in 10, in 20, in 30, in 6 months, in a year of you taking responsibility for the creation of your reality? What would your reality be? Would you make more money? Would you be doing one of your hobbies? Would you have a different career? Would you be making love to a new soulmate? Maybe getting married, maybe having kids, maybe buying a house, maybe getting a better body? Who would you be if you stepped into your power by taking 100% responsibility for the way your life is without blame? I can guarantee you that if you took responsibility, that, like I said, I went from the first floor all the way to the top in the skyscraper just by taking responsibility alone for my life, and stop blaming people for my financial situation, stop blaming people for my past failed relationships, right? And like in the relationship area, once I took responsibility, then now I'm from a place of where I can take it somewhere. In 2007, I realized I don't know this area very well. I'm not willing to have another failed relationship or a relationship that felt bad on a daily basis. What education is out? Is there any coaching? Is there any seminars that I can take? Is there any books that I can read? Who is a master of this area? Literally like a Yoda. Who is a Yoda in this area that I can get tutelage under? Skywalker went to Yoda, right? Because he didn't know some stuff, and you don't know what you don't know. And sometimes when you take responsibility, it means that a new door opens up of learning. The door of learning opens, and that's exciting because you're about to learn some shit, and you're about to make some mistakes, and you're about to go through some failures, which is part of the learning process, and it's fine. But you're going to come out of the tunnel on the other end being somebody you can't even imagine right now. Your life can be incredible, And if you think it's not, you're subscribing to the wrong story. You can do anything in this world. You can be anybody, but it starts with taking responsibility in the areas you're not taking responsibility. Is this making sense, guys? Is this making sense? In what areas am I not taking responsibility is the question you want to go to bed with tonight. What areas am I not taking responsibility in my life? You have to ask yourself. And so in the relationships, once I said, you know what, took responsibility, I started going to boot camps and training for men on how to talk to the opposite sex with confidence. What do I say? How do I say it? How do I be? But then it evolves to, how can I be the most authentic version of myself? How can I let go of the baggage of the past and just come into the now and be fully authentic with people and myself and not put on social masks? And so then I evolved to where I was good with women. I went from bad with women to good with women, and then now I'm with Jacqueline for 8 years, and we're on a magical pilgrimage around the USA. We're not waiting till we're 65 and conditions are perfect. And I'm getting a retirement check. I'm not waiting, because my life is now. I understand deeply that it's now. It doesn't mean my life's perfect. I'm always working on myself. But it starts with taking responsibility, guys. So if you want to work with me, it has been a great week where I've been celebrating my 35th birthday the entire week. And tonight is the last night where I'm offering any sort of discount or opportunity to work with me at a lower level. My programs are anywhere from $50,000, where you're working with me 7 days in person, and then we work with you for a year, all the way down to $10,000, where I'm working with you over 6 months. Now, so there's an opportunity, I think I already posted it, where you can work with me for a month straight, and you don't get one coach, you get 2 coaches. And what are we working on? What's the promise of this? Well, we're promising that we're going to help you move the ball considerably down in the direction that you want to go, whether that's you have a dream. Let's say you have a dream of feeling really powerful on a daily basis, of taking responsibility, of being a confident leader. We're going to work on that, and we're going to get that out of you, and we're going to get you to own that. If you want a soulmate, we're going to say, we're going to start by working with you and seeing why you haven't gotten this and what do we have to do, and then supporting you in that process over a month's time. Now, the details are above. It's $1,000. It's not $50,000. It's not $10,000. It's a steal. There's only one spot, and it's gone at midnight. It's gone at midnight, and I'm going to be streaming a little bit later here on Facebook. But once the spot's gone, it's gone. Now imagine being on the phone with me and Jacqueline for an hour for 4 weeks straight. Who would you be? Telling us about what you want, why you want it, coming up with a strategic plan or recipe that's customized to you, and then making sure you execute that at a high level, and then auditing it, making sure we're on course and course correcting where we need to. Who would you be after that month? And then adding in their support, extra support with Facebook Messenger coaching, where we can talk to you daily, Monday through Friday. It's basically you have a coach in your pocket, where if you have a question for us about anything, or especially about the dream or problem you're trying to solve, then you can ask us. Who would you be asking us and communicating with us every day? How powerful would you be at the end of the month? How enthusiastic about life? How would that bleed over into every area of your life and improve it and uplift it? How would the people around you feel? I just got a testimonial from a lady, and she's a lovely, lovely client going big in her life. And she said that basically the people that she's a business owner, but the people that she's working with are asking her, why is she so damn happy? And the bottom line is because she's getting coaching. We're forming together like a Batman and Robin every day, coming together, and her and I are working through anything that's holding her back so that she can move the ball down the field and get a touchdown, and we're celebrating like every day. And her colleagues asked her why she was so happy. And the bottom line is this was the answer. I'm getting coaching, and I'm changing the way I think about everything. And so that's what we're going to do when I work with you and Jacqueline's. You get like a 2-for-1 here. Okay? So do not hesitate. If you want to work with me and you want to work with Jacqueline over a month, you either click that link below and sign up, or you can PM me right now. You can message me and ask about the dream or problem that you're trying to solve and see if it's a good fit. Now, for everybody, this is not a good opportunity. It's not a fit for everybody. Here's who is not a fit for. People that are not coachable. Coachable means that you really want what you want, and you're ready to raise your level of commitment, and you're ready to invest and get a coach to help you take the ball down the field so you can get a touchdown on this. So your dream doesn't die inside of you. So that it actually becomes a reality. You actually manifest it in your life. And so we're going to work with you and keep you excited and keep you motivated and keep you accountable. So I think that's all I have to say. There's only one spot. It's gone at midnight. Click the link above or below. And again, if you have any questions, PM me. Love to hear from you. One spot. Go and get it now. Bye.